Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to be going over, in my opinion, how realistic is the $2,500 price target that has been set for Tesla stock recently. Now before this video starts, I would love if you guys just quickly went ahead and left a like on this video. That'd be really awesome. And without further ado, let's get right into it. This is my opinion for where Tesla stock is going to be every year leading up into this price target. So first of all, some background on the price target. This price target was set for the next 3 years. So basically by the end of 2023 is when kind of this price target is set for. That's the time frame. And it was set by the co-founder of Loop Ventures, which is a venture capital fund. So they invest in like startups and stuff like that to help them grow. That's kind of their business. Just sort of, some background on who's setting the price target, when the price target is for, and just some general simple stuff. Now, about how I'm valuing Tesla, I value Tesla similarly to kind of how Amazon is valued, because they're kind of both the same sort of companies where they're both disrupting major industries. Like, for example, you might be telling me that Tesla is a car company or Tesla is a tech company or whatever you want, but in reality it's a disruptor. And the difference between a disruptor and a regular company in an industry is that it deserves to be valued entirely differently because it is changing the entire industry and reaping the benefits and the rewards because of doing so. An example is, well, Amazon. That's the perfect example, because Amazon technically is a retailer. Like, if you think about it, that's really what it is. But the thing about Amazon is that it certainly doesn't have the sort of valuations that most retailers have these days. I mean, retailers have super low valuations. And Amazon has a PE of like, what, 90 or 100 right now? So the reason for that is because Amazon is changing the whole industry and growing because of it. And Tesla's kind of the same way, where even though you can definitely make an argument for it being only a car company, in reality it's not really your average car company, because it's changing the whole industry. And what car company grows like 100% year over year? Nobody, right? Which is why Tesla deserves to be valued more. I'm just saying all these things so that you guys understand where I'm coming from and how I'm actually making up these price targets. And that you guys know that I'm not just like pulling these price targets out of nowhere. I actually have a reason for all these price targets. So basically the way I'm going to value Tesla is like Amazon, similar sort of PE in terms of how much it grows. So, example, for 2021, I think Tesla's going to turn a profit of around $4 or $5 billion for the year. That's relatively conservative in my opinion, because Tesla could do a lot more than these numbers, but I'm just, trying to be on the low here. And be somewhat of a realist, not a super duper duper optimist who's saying that Tesla is going to have a full self-driving network by the end of next year and they're going to be making more money than Apple. I'm not going to be saying that, because that's probably not true. I'm being realistic here. And that's what you guys should know about this. I also expect, in addition to this $4 to $5 billion profit, revenues of around maybe $60 to $70 billion or so. And the reason why I expect this is because the China factory is going to be producing significantly more cars by then, because it'll be like kind of fully operational. And I think Tesla is going to deliver potentially even more than 1 million cars next year, which is why I have such high revenue figures for the company. And I think it's going to have a PE of around 300 next year. Currently, the stock has a PE of like 1200. But I think next year it's going to have a PE of around 300, considering all these numbers. And the reason why I think it deserves such a high PE is because it's going to have insane growth from this year to next, like over double, I think, in terms of revenue growth. And for that reason, people are going to value it like a company that grows 100% plus year over year. So, like I said, I'm going to be using Amazon as an example. Amazon's growing around, 30-35% this year. And they have a PE of around 90. And I think Tesla's going to have a PE of around triple what Amazon has this year. Just because I think it's going to have triple, if not more, the growth that Amazon has had from last year to this year. Now, on a 2022, I think it's going to have a way, way, way bigger profit than 2021. I think it's going to make around 12 to $15 billion in profit and have $125 billion of revenue. And my reasoning for this is because I think 2022 is going to be a really pivotal year for the company, because I think what's going to happen is that first of all, the China market is going to be bigger than it was in 2021. And I think that their factory is going to be producing even more cars by 2022 than 2021, for one. For two, I think that the Berlin factory is going to be producing a significant amount of cars by this time. I also think that the Austin factory is going to be producing a ton of cars by this time, which is going to really impact their revenue numbers, of course, because they're going to have more sales since they're producing more cars. And I think the really big revenue driver in 2022 is going to be the Cybertruck, because the Cybertruck currently has like 650,000 or 700,000 pre-orders, I believe. And that's literally more cars than they've sold this whole year. I think that's actually more cars than they've sold in their whole history leading up to this point. And I think that number might even grow further. And the thing about the Cybertrucks is that, at least with early data that we got, like for the first 200,000 pre-orders, most of the orders were actually for the dual motors and the tri-motor cars, which are the more expensive models of the Cybertruck. And for more expensive models of the Cybertruck, Tesla's going to make more profit margin, because, car companies always, when they, with options and stuff that you add on to your car and performance upgrades or whatnot, are always really high margin. And that's also the case with Tesla, because in reality, their cost to make the car from a single motor to a dual motor is much less than the increase in price from the single motor to the dual motor car. So I think they're going to have really, really high profit margins in the Cybertrucks, and I think they're going to deliver and sell a crap ton of them. So for that reason, I think they're going to be extremely profitable in 2022, and I think in general it's going to be a really pivotal year for them. So I'm expecting, honestly, I think I could see $2,000 a share. I wrote 1,800 to 2,200 because I'm not entirely sure, but I think over 2,000 is really possible. And I think they're going to be valued at a PE of 120 to 150. Even though their growth is going to be about the same, I think the valuation is sort of going to come down in the company, because even though it's growing super fast, I think people are going to see it as more of like one of those really, really big companies that definitely is growing a lot, but people might get scared that the company's gotten too big, like when they see a market cap that's like around Apple's, they're going to think that Tesla is like Apple or Amazon and deserves to be valued as such. So I think that the PE is going to kind of go down significantly in 2022, even though the growth is actually potentially even speeding up. Just stuff that happens with many stocks. It's normal, and I think that that's generally what's going to happen with Tesla, is that their business is going to grow and grow and grow, but their valuation, not their market cap, but like how they're valued, like their PE and price to sales and that stuff, is going to go down over time, just because it's becoming a bigger company, and it's going to be valued like a bigger and bigger company. And really big companies don't have valuations of, with PEs of 500 or any of that. They're big companies have much lower valuations over time, generally. Generally, that's just what happens with big companies. Now, onto 2023, I think they're going to have revenues of about 175 billion, so pretty decent growth from 2022 still. Not quite as high as from 2021 to 2022. But I think by 2023, all of their factories are going to be working at full capacity, and they're going to be able to deliver a ton of cars by this time. I also think their other businesses are going to grow a lot by 2023. So I think that, for one, I think they're going to sell more full self-driving software by then, because the softwares are going to be much better. So much more people are going to be willing to pay that $8,000 or $10,000 extra for the software, which is going to, impact their profit numbers very positively, of course. And in addition to the full self-driving, I think that their solar business is going to grow quite a bit. I don't know exactly how much it's going to add to the bottom line, but I think it's going to be a bigger and bigger driver of the business. Same with the battery business. I think the battery business is also going to grow tremendously by 2023. And of course, since their factories are going to be at full production capacity, they're going to be able to sell more and more cars, which is going to, increase their profits and their revenues. And for the price target, I do think that 2,500 is possible. You know what? I think that this Loop Ventures co-founder who set the price target for 2023 to be 2,500 is definitely, forward looking, but I do think that he's right. I do think it's possible that it's going to be a $2,500 stock by the end of 2023. It might be a bit difficult to reach there, I'm going to be honest, but I think it is a possibility because the business is going to grow tremendously. They're going to become one of the most profitable, if not the most profitable company in the world pretty soon, I think. And in general, just people are going to realize that Tesla is completely and totally dominant. And if you guys did enjoy this video, I would love it if you guys left a like. That would be really, really awesome. And subscribe to this channel. I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace.